Thank you, Carmen, and a hello to you all. I'm Red Gear, or Red as most of you may know me. Don't question my spelling of gear, I thought it looked cool, okay? Anyway, I'm a mod of Carmen's server, as well as the carrier pigeon between her and Septy for several days. Prior to all this, I hadn't really spoken to Septy that much while they were in the server. So, how did I become their little messenger clown? Easy. I made an offhand comment about Coda and Lio possibly manipulating them. Ironic, I know. Anyway, like Carmen may have already mentioned, but apparently when whatever spy the bootleg tabaxi had showed my comment to them, this caused them to suddenly try to add me on their main. I know the reason now, but at the moment, I had no idea. And the fact that they added me freaked me the hell out. Carmen told me to block seeing as I was getting stressed out by this, and she didn't want to lose any more of her friends. They then proceeded to add me on an alt with a rather threatening name. That they changed to an equally threatening name. Block that too. Then they added me again. This time with a much less threatening name on their alt. So they tried to hassle me 3 times because of one thing that I said and no longer stood by. Talk about obsessive. After that, I pretty much became a messenger between Septy and Carmen. Sometimes in between, we'd have actual small talk. Some genuine conversations. Because of this, I kind of figured we were cool, and they even apologized to me for the whole triple ad thing. However, that's not the only thing that Septy has done wrong by me. So, let's go through them one by one, shall we? To begin with, that wasn't the only time Septy had hassled me. No. The other time was after Carmen's vid. Nekakota didn't tell the full story came out. They kept messaging me, asking me to see if Carmen would cut the relationship part out of her vid. I told them that she's having the information they gave me cross-referenced with that given to her by her source. Every day. They asked every honking day. Eventually, I had it and said, this is where we're at. If you can wait, I'd advise you to do so. Turns out the bugger decided they couldn't wait and hit the video with a copyright strike. Fantastic move. Not like that was their dumbest decision. I guess they figured I wouldn't tell Carmen about our conversations, so they figured they could just tell me some more of the fucked up shit. For instance, telling me, who says I need to enter her home? That's what Molotovs are for. Yes, you heard that right. This individual, who got mad at Carmen for using a TF2 meme and called it a death threat, has made a passing remark that they'd Molotov their house.
Nice opinion. One small issue. I am inside your home.
You know, it's not wise to invade another person's home when you're legally not allowed to own a gun.
For those not aware, Carmen lives with her grandmother, so Septy has no qualms putting her family in danger, all because of some internet drama. Now, under normal circumstances, I'd be willing to believe that this was a joke. But these aren't normal circumstances. In the same paragraph, they actually confessed something to me about the thumbnail where they and Coda had Carmen tied to a chair, bloody and beaten. You may recall Septy screaming at Carmen while pointing sternly at her. Turns out, that wasn't the original design. The original had it where, instead of pointing at her, Septy had a knife to her throat. And they told me this willingly and didn't see anything wrong with it! Why? This is why I say these aren't normal circumstances. I genuinely believe that this fuzzball wants to actually harm Carmen. I hadn't told her of this at the time, mainly because I figured I would just be stirring shit for no real reason. But then, that leads me to the most recent threat they made. The threat to dox Carmen's government name. At the time, I didn't think to screenshot it, but I do remember it vividly. If she can leak my DMs, then I can leak her government name. My brother was sitting beside me at the time, and he can attest that it was a threat. But don't take my word for it. Septy would come in on an alt account in the comments of Carmen's video, pretty much confirming that that's what they said. I told Carmen about this, and she told me to inform them that she was going forward with the DMs and would be bringing this up. The moment I did, they went ballistic at me, telling me that I ruin everything. What bothers me about this meltdown is that this would imply that it would be wrong to tell them the same thing if Carmen had said what they had said. But I know for a bleeding fact that had that actually happened, they'd definitely want to hear about it. Then they go ahead and call me a retard. The cherry on top? I'm actually diagnosed with autism. I take Adderall for it. I see a doctor about it. While I don't believe in the whole retard is a slur thing, I wouldn't put it past Septy that was their intent. But that's not the most egregious thing they have done to me. If you've been following Lio's Twitter, you might have seen this collage of screenshots of people offering phrases for the thumbnail of Carmen's vid, where Nekokoda is non-conned, if you will. If you did, you might see me there offering get fucked bitch. Now this was before Coda had gone to the hospital due to a self-deletion attempt. When that post was made, and Septy came to me, I gave them an apology delivered to Coda because I didn't know she would hear from me at all. They told me, "You can't be sorry because you supported the thumbnail." Yeah, that's what I'm apologizing for, jackass. At this point, I don't know if Coda ever got my apology, but knowing how spiteful Septy is, I'm willing to bet that they never sent it to her or intended to hold it hostage. If Coda or anyone who follows her is in the audience, I'd love to know if she ever got my apology. So, there we have it. My experience with Septy. What do I think of them after all that? I think they're a manipulative crybaby who either looks for or tries to foster an echo chamber for even the smallest of slights against them. Do I think our friendship was mutual? Not anymore. They dropped me the moment I told Carmen about the docs. I think I was just a tool to them that had eventually outlived its usefulness. But enough about me and my DMs. I've talked your ears off enough already, so I'm going to give it back to Carmen, someone much more interesting to listen to.